Hello and welcome to the Automation Testing Foundation training. In this video, we will cover extensively the test execution phase and the use of Orchestrator and robots for managing the published test cases and for creating, running, and scheduling test sets. Let's begin. This is UiPath Orchestrator. Before adding the testing automation capabilities, it was used for managing RPA robots, jobs, execution queues, and storing credentials. If this is the first time you see it and you find it overwhelming, it might be a good idea to make a detour and learn a bit about Orchestrator before advancing with this lesson. The Orchestrator for Developers course on the Academy is probably the best resource for getting up to speed with it. If you're already familiar with the Orchestrator interface, you will notice the new kid on the block, the testing menu. Here we have everything we need for testing executions. We have the test cases published from Studio Pro. We have the test sets corresponding to robot jobs. We also have the job outcomes called test executions. And, finally, test schedules. We will delve into each of these throughout this demo. Before we move on, keep in mind that test cases are run through special robots of testing type. We have one here. All right, let's first create a process. Remember that a process in Orchestrator is created by bringing together a package and an environment. In our case here, the package was already published. You've seen in the previous lesson how that was done. An important point to remember is that a published package may contain one or more test cases. As for the environment, this contains one or more robots. Back to our process. We'll select the package. The environment is pre-filled because it's the only one we have in this demo environment. So we could just click Create. And there's our process right here. Now let's navigate under Test Cases. Notice the different test cases in the project column, showing to which package they belong to. If we select our new project from this menu here, we will get to see only the test cases in it. Keep in mind that they have to be set at Publishable in Studio Pro to be visible here. Let's navigate to Test Sets to create a new one using our process. We'll click on the plus sign, give it a name, select the environment and the project. Once we do that, we'll get to choose the test cases from the package. Let's select them all and create. Now we'll run them. There are two ways of doing that. The first is directly from the test sets with the execute option in this menu here, along these other options. The second one is through a schedule, and we'll get to that a bit later. Now let's go for the first option. As soon as we hit execute, we can see in the test execution submenu that our test cases are running. This will take a while, but definitely not as much as it would take in a manual testing scenario. Once it is done, we can check out the outcomes here, under Test Executions. Most of them are passed, some are failed. Let's take a closer look at these. If we select View Assertions, we can see details about the verification, according to the way it was built in Studio Pro. All right, the last option in the testing menu is Test Schedules. This enables us to execute test sets in a pre-planned manner. We'll simply click the plus sign and define a schedule. Let's give it a name and select the test set. Next, we can select the time zone and set up the recurrence. We can even use non-working days restrictions if we are defining them in advance. And we are able to choose if we want to disable at a certain date and time. Once we click Add, we can see it here. We can edit it from this menu, or we can simply disable it. With that, our demo on the Orchestrator capabilities on automated test case execution is finalized. We still have some important things to show you, so stay tuned. Until next time.